You open your eyes face down in mud. Your phone is gone, your car is gone, the road you know is gone. A wooden fence stands a few feet away, with thatched roofs behind it and smoke rising from a low doorway. A voice comes from behind you, sharp and fast, speaking words you don't recognize. This isn't a dream. The year is 1026, 1,000 years before the morning you actually woke up in. Your first instinct will be to run, but that's the fastest way to get killed. A stranger sprinting through unfamiliar streets, in strange clothes, toward a forest they don't know, looks like exactly one thing: a threat worth chasing down. The real first move happens before you take a single step. You figure out where you landed because 1026 looked completely different depending on which patch of dirt you woke up on. In England, Nut the Great rules a kingdom stretching into Denmark and Norway. In Cairo, the scholar Ibn al-Haytham is finishing a study of optics that lays groundwork for the scientific method 6 centuries early. In Song Dynasty China, merchants already trade with government-printed paper money called jiaozi. In New Mexico, the builders of Chaco Canyon are raising multi-story stone structures with no metal tools at all. 4 continents, 4 completely different systems of power, language, and law, and one plan can't cover all of them. You start by reading the room you're actually in. Clothing tells you status. A robe means a monastery nearby, food stores, and men who might read Latin. A sword on a belt means someone with the legal right to kill you and no court that will ever ask why. Bare feet and rough wool mean a peasant, someone with almost no power to protect you and almost no power to report you either. You listen before you speak. Every word from a language you shouldn't know, spoken with an accent from 1,000 years ahead, is evidence that something about you is wrong. In this era, wrong doesn't read as interesting. It reads as dangerous. Dangerous enough to drown as a witch or run through as a spy. Disease runs in both directions. You have no immunity built up against smallpox, typhus, or the dysentery living in local water. Locals have no resistance to whatever you're carrying either. A single untreated cut can kill you within a week because penicillin won't exist for another 902 years. Alexander Fleming isolates it in London in 1928. What you actually carry in is centuries of medicine and engineering, sitting quietly in habits you never think about. Nobody in 1026 believes disease spreads through invisible organisms. The accepted explanation is miasma, bad air rising off swamps and rot. You know boiling water kills what makes people sick. You know washing hands before treating a wound cuts death rates dramatically. Ignaz Semmelweis won't prove that with numbers until a Vienna maternity ward in 1847. But you can't announce any of it. Gerbert of Aurillac, who became Pope Sylvester II, died in the year 1003, just 23 years before you arrive. He built mechanical clocks, used an abacus, and studied astronomy in Muslim Spain. For generations afterward, people whispered he'd made a deal with the devil because nothing else explained how one man knew that much. Knowledge without a believable source looks like sorcery to people who have never watched it work any other way. So you don't explain, you demonstrate slowly, and let someone else take the credit. You boil water and call it a purification habit from a distant monastery. You wash your hands before treating a wound and call it a custom from abroad. You suggest rotating which field lies fallow each season, a method already spreading through parts of Europe as the 3-field system, and you let the local farmer believe the idea was partly his. None of it matters if you're dead by nightfall from thirst. Every stream, well, and grain store near a settlement already belongs to somebody, and taking it without asking is how outsiders end up dead before sunrise. So the actual order looks like this. Find water first, read clothing and weapons before approaching anyone. Say almost nothing until you can lie competently in the local language. Then offer one small, deniable skill at a time, like boiled water, clean hands, or a planting rotation, without ever explaining where it came from. You won't rebuild the 21st century here, and nobody would believe you if you tried. What survives the trip is smaller than that. It's the habit of washing your hands before touching a wound, the same habit that took Europe 821 years and Semmelweis's hospital records to finally prove.